Jolan True, welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another officer video. And somehow we seem to have a little bit of PvP crew member officer videos this week, because now we already have the second in 2 days. But before I talk about Ikat Ika, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel. And when you do, please also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But let's have a look now. He's a rare officer. He's from class Science. Here it says he's from the group Deep Space Nine, but they changed a little bit, obviously, later when they brought in the lower decks officers. That's why down here it says Explorer Strike Team, which is the correct one. He gives synergy to others from the Explorer Strike Team, and he gets synergy from others from the Explorer Strike Team if he's captain. And he's from the faction Dominion, which is a little bit distracting here, because you might think, well, Dominion is with the Bajorans, there's the Bajoran faction. It just means you need independent credits, because there is no Dominion faction store here. When you want to upgrade him, it's independent credits. And of course, if you want to know something about him, there's an info text in the info box here about him, but that would go too far to do it here in the video and go through it completely. You know who the Jem'Hadar are if you've seen Deep Space Nine, and you know why he is in a crew with Veyun then. But we get to the crew a little bit later. First of all, he does have a captain maneuver, and that's Honored Elder. Ikat Ika increases all mitigation stats by 20% for 1 round every round when fighting players if on an Explorer. So you already see that he is a member of an Explorer PvP crew here. But I don't use him as captain there. That has to do with the best Explorer crew that there is, and that's not him as captain. But there you need his officer ability, and that's created to win. You know, they are all created and not born. Ikat Ika increases weapon damage by 53% at the start of each round for 3 rounds when fighting players if on an Explorer with Morale. And Morale and Explorers, this status is always connected to Explorers, because there it has the greatest effect. And the PvP crew he is part of, and that's the Veyun crew. Veyun brings this morale, and that's why the combination is so important. I talked a lot about this when I'm talking about PvP crews, that for a long time the Lorca crew was very important, but then came the Deep Space Nine arc, why they still say he's from the group Deep Space Nine. And in that arc they introduced 3 PvP crews for the 3 different ship classes, Interceptor, Explorer and Battleship. And in the end, and Ikat Ika was originally part of that crew already, together with Veyun as a captain and with Pon, that's the Breen that's there. But since they introduced the lower decks officers, and the second arc of lower decks then changed everything with Carol Freeman as the captain of the new best PvP crew, the 3 Deep Space Nine and Strange New World PvP crews changed as well there, because you had to add 1 lower decks officer on each of them to keep them up to date, so to speak. And that kind of kicked Pon from that crew, but Ikat Ika is still part of the crew with Veyun and a lower decks officer. So that's why he still is very important. As a second best PvP crew. That ship is out, so I cannot show you the crew itself, what I'm using, but PvP crew is a video I already did, so you can have a look there. But you will want to know how to get him, but before I talk about how to get him, I almost forgot one of my standard things here, because as a rare officer, he of course does have an ability for away teams, even if you probably will not use him for that. we need to talk about this. You can unlock security and tactical. As you can see, I didn't unlock a lot here because I'm not using him for away teams, because he definitely is part of one of my PvP crews. I have more than one ship and I can only have Carol Freeman on one of the ships, so I want to have good PvP crews for my other ships as well. And of course, on one of my explorers, I do have the Veyun crew, although it's only my fourth strongest ship. That will not do that much at the moment, because my strongest ship, which is an explorer as well, of course, has the Freeman crew and not the Veyun crew. But nevertheless, it's still very helpful, and having all those PvP crews at once is even more helpful, especially when it's incursion again, like we are supposed to have this week again, and somebody comes and attacks your base to stop you from raiding another base. And if you have your other ships there with good PvP crews, that helps as well. Although they are station defending crews, of course. Nevertheless, now you definitely will want to know how to get him, and it was quite difficult for quite some time, until they extended the Xborg faction. Not the Xborg, brought in the Section 31 faction. Because here you now can get the original best PvP crews as they were at the time when they came out. That's the Strike Team crew with La'an as captain. That's the for battleships, that's the Interceptor crew with Gul Dukat as captain. And that's the Explorer crew with Veyun as captain. And here you can get shards for all three of them. Although they changed again, and the changed ones, the lower deck officers you need to add now, are not in here. But Ikat Ika is in here, and for 1120 wave credits, so to speak, you can get one Ikat Ika shard. And I got him earlier via other events and so on, but now I could get him here if I wouldn't have him yet. You need to be, I think it was distinguished to get the rare officers, and what is called now handler to get the epic ones. And as you can see, for Carol Freeman, I will need Spy Master, but fortunately I got her via the Ark and some other events at the time already. So I've got all of those officers and don't need to do too much here. Of course, it's better to upgrade those officers for them being stronger. But if you are missing any of those, you can get them here in the Section 31 faction store now. And of course, as usual, especially with the officers, I would like to know the opinion of other players that have him and that are using those PvP crews. What you think about Ikat Ika and the strength of this PvP crew, and if you still use him or if you make different decisions. That's definitely interesting for my other viewers as well. And if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read the comments. So please write them in the comment section as well. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.